How are you? My name is Mike. It's 8:52 on a beautiful Thursday morning. Well, it's not. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's kind of cloudy. It's not beautiful. It's supposed to be beautiful, though. A little bit later on, we're supposed to get some sunny skies here in the borough of Jewett City and eastern Connecticut. So that's supposed to be happening today. It's going to be a little bit windy, though, they say. So the wind chill will certainly play a factor today as far as how the temperature feels. But otherwise, it should be all good. Should be all good. At least that's what I'm thinking. So temperature should reach about 40 degrees or so. The signs of spring, though, are certainly coming around. They're definitely coming around. Why do I say that? Well, coming up on March 14th. You know what March 14th is? Do you know? I know what March 14th will signify. You got to change your clocks. March 14th, you got to change your clocks, change your batteries as well, in your smoke detectors. There's a press release that is posted up on the SNSN Community News and Events page, right in the smack dab in the middle, and you can take a look. And there's a whole checklist, if you will, of what you need to do or what you should do, I guess, when it comes time to change your batteries and change the clocks back on the 14th. So that is happening real soon. Other press releases that were posted this morning, we have a new education secretary. Miguel Cardona, who was the education secretary for the state of Connecticut, is now the national education secretary in President Biden's cabinet. So we have a brand new education secretary, and she was installed yesterday. Governor Lamont received the recommendation and approved it. So we have a new education secretary here in Connecticut. All right, so I know what a lot of you are waiting for coming up in a little bit. Joe the Time Traveler coming in this morning. Once again, we haven't talked to Joe in a couple of weeks, and so he's going to join us in the 9 o'clock hour and talk about what's happening in the future. Now, Joe claims that he comes from the year 2030 and he traveled back to 2012 and he's been back for 9 years. And next thing you know, boom, whole bunch of stuff's going to happen. And he's going to let us know about the future. So that's going to happen this morning just after the 9 o'clock news. We'll see Joe pop up on the screen pretty soon. What else is happening this morning? Well, how about a gift card from Big Y? We got $100 gift card coming your way from Big Y. See, now what you got to do is you got to make sure that you have downloaded the SNSN app. If you've done that, then you'll get the note. Well, as long as you've went ahead and enabled notifications, you're going to get the word of the day. So if you know the word of the day, do not type it in the room or it's going to null and void everything. Then we can't do it. So don't do that. So we're going to ask in a little bit for the word of the day. And then when we ask for it, we'll ask you to call. And if you are the correct caller, then we will go ahead. Don't call now. Don't call now. I think somebody tried to call. They said, "Oop, not yet." We get some itchy trigger fingers out there, when it comes to this. So we'll see what happens. That's going to be a little bit after 9 o'clock, just because of the time right now. It's 8:57, and we're going to do the news, and then Joe's going to. We'll do it when maybe Joe he'll give you a future. He'll give you a future gift card to Big Y. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? That was my stomach. My God, that was loud. That was very, very. I'm hungry this morning. I'm hungry, but I'm by myself, so I can't send anybody to get a sandwich. Mikey Mercer, you look lovely this morning as well. My goodness, you look great, Mikey. Good morning to Denise as well. Thanks for saying hello. As we are live on YouTube, we are live on Twitch, and we are live on Facebook. So everybody waiting for Joe the Time Traveler. But Mikey, you look absolutely gorgeous. You look marvelous. Matter of fact, you look so good today. We're going to give you a round of applause. All right, buddy. There you go. Mikey, you look absolutely wonderful. And yeah, don't go out because you know what? The weather is just a little bit too hot for you today, Mikey Mercer. Yeah, stay in, So make sure. Joe's already popped in there, looks like. So we'll check in with him in uno momento. So Jeff Blayman, good morning for jumping in this morning. How are you? And thanks for the happy belated birthday. I appreciate that. Joanne McCoy in there as well. Linda says, yay! We have a whole bunch of people already starting to join in. We're going to check the news. Matter of fact, we're going to do that right now. Then we're going to give away the gift card. We're going to talk to Joe. A lot of things going on right here on SN Internet Radio.
The flagship for Griswold High School sports, and your home for local news and weather.
Broadcasting from Main Street in the borough of Jewett City.
The Streaming News and Sports Network, SNSN.
The 9 a.m. report on the Streaming News and Sports Network is being brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want, what you get. That's Charlene's Diner.
I love working here because of the people, and I get to work with my family every day.
Come to Charlene's Diner for the best breakfast you've ever had.
That was Brittany and Matt from Charlene's Diner on Main Street in Jewett City. There are only a few things that have been able to stand the test of time in Jewett City, and one of them just happens to be Charlene's Diner, who just celebrated their 40th anniversary in business. How do you stay in business that long in a small town like Jewett City? It's a simple recipe, really great food and friendly service, and of course, family. You'll feel like family too because you'll always be greeted with a smile that makes you feel like you're right at home. Stop by for breakfast or lunch 7 days a week. If you don't have any time, well, that's no problem. Order ahead and your food will be waiting for you when you walk into Charlene's door. You can find Charlene's Diner on Facebook too. Stop in and join the family for breakfast or lunch today.
I'm Charlene. Come to Charlene's Diner and order what you want and eat what you get.
Here's a look at your local news headlines on SNSN. On March 3rd at about 1:55 p.m., Plainfield police arrested 35-year-old Crystal McCowan of Moosup for an active hard copy criminal arrest warrant for sexual assault in the 4th degree and 2 counts of risk of injury to a minor. There was an incident that occurred in October of 2020 involving a 13-year-old juvenile who McCowan provided with alcoholic beverages and forced to participate in inappropriate sexual conduct. This arrest was a result of an investigation conducted by the Plainfield Police Department's Special Investigations Unit. McCowan was held on a court-set $75,000 bond and will be arraigned on Thursday in Danielson Superior Court. In Plainfield, police say more arrests are pending. Governor Ned Lamont and the Mohegan Tribe Chairman James Gessner Jr. announced an agreement that would allow the state of Connecticut to modernize gaming options available to state residents, including the allowing for sports wagering and online gaming. The agreement would generate tens of millions of dollars in new revenue for the state while keeping Connecticut competitive with gaming changes currently being offered or considered in neighboring states. The agreement also provides the inclusion of the Connecticut Lottery Corporation as a partner in the effort to modernize the state's gaming landscape. Some components of the agreement include a 20% tax rate on new online gaming, or what they call iGaming offerings, a 13.75% tax rate on sports wagering, and the Connecticut Lottery shall have the right to operate 15 retail sports betting locations, as well as operate an online sports betting skin. The license agreement was to be for 10 years with a 5-year extension option. The Greater Norwich Area Chamber of Commerce has announced that Lisa Griffin, who is president and CEO of Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank, has been elected to serve as chair of the board of directors for the chamber. Griffin joined the chamber board of directors in 2013 and became an officer, serving as secretary in 2014, quickly moving to vice chair in 2015. Lisa also serves as the chairman of the leadership program and is a member of the Chamber's Economic Development Committee. Lisa actively gives back to the community and serves on many volunteer boards, including the Madonna Place and Three Rivers Community College Foundation.
The 9 a.m. report on SNSN has been brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want. Eat what you get.
What you
at Charlene's
get.
Diner.
Here's a look at your local weather forecast on SNSN. We can expect sunny skies in eastern Connecticut today. A little bit windy, though. Temperatures right around 39 degrees, but with the wind chill, it'll feel more like 29. Clear skies tonight, temperatures dropping down to about 19. But then again, with the wind, that will certainly play a factor, and it'll feel like below zero temperatures this evening. And then partly cloudy skies for Friday, temps around 34 degrees.
The station brought to you with REO Speedwagon, Pat Benatar, Metallica, streaming live.
SNSN.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back to the show. It's 9:05 on a cloudy Thursday morning, but the clouds are going to clear up here in eastern Connecticut, and it will look better. It'll be windy and chilly, but at least it'll be something better to look at than some of the gray crap that's going on outside. So there you go. Joe, are you there?
I am here. How you doing, man?
Oh, good, Joe. How you been? I haven't. We've been kind of missing each other in the in the paths lately.
Well, I've been sick, so I've been dealing with that. Sorry I wasn't here last week. I didn't think it was
That's
a good look to come on and be sick. So, but I've been all right, man. I'm getting better, and yeah, I'm ready to win this big $100 gift card from Big Y.
Can do they have Big Y where you are?
No,
I don't think so.
What is Big Y?
It's big.
Well, I guess it's
There you
gotta
go.
be big.
It's a grocery store.
Oh yeah. Well, hey guys, make sure you
It's a grocery
download the
store,
app
and
and yeah.
a local
the word of the
one of our
day.
local banks, Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank. You know what? I got to put their graphic up. I haven't done that yet. I'm
Okay.
such a bad promotional assistant. Boom, there we are.
Boom. Look
But
at that.
yeah, they're concerned, with of course COVID and a lot of the food insecurity that's going on,
Yeah.
within our area, and of course I'm sure it's going on in your area and all over the world. So they're giving away $100 gift cards. We have 10 of them to
Yeah.
give away. We gave away a couple, so already. So, but you know what, Joe?
Well,
I
make
think
sure.
we should give one away right now.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's give it away right now. So all I want you to do is give me a call at 860-591-1054. 860-591-1054. We are going to take the third caller with the correct word of the day. Numero tres. So look at this. We got one right here. Let's see what we got here. Going to take the third caller with the correct word of the day. And Look at that. And you're caller number one, and your speaker's way too loud.
Hi.
Hi, you're caller number one. We're looking for caller 3.
Gotta be 3, hon. Gotta be 3.
That's 1. Here it comes. Hi, you're caller number 2. Sorry, we're looking for 3.
3, gotta be 3.
Next one, here it is. SNSN, good morning. Who's this?
Hi, Angelina.
Hi, Angelina. Where are you calling from?
Jewett City.
The JC.
Yeah. Was I the third caller?
I don't know. You're the 4th, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
are you serious?
unfortunately, you just
I'm
missed
kidding
it.
you.
Oh, yay.
Congratulations.
You want the word?
Yeah, you got to give me the word. What is the word? And it is not bird.
It's cash.
Cash is the word of the day. And Angelina, you have just won a $100 gift card to Big Y.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Look at that.
Week of groceries.
What's that?
That's a whole week of groceries.
Well, that's the idea. That's the
Yay.
idea. So yeah, so the whole idea behind this is just is to get this to folks, Angelina. So you are the 3rd winner. That's why we asked for caller number 3 today.
Yay! I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
All right, what was that? Say yay. Give me a really good yay.
Yay! Woo-hoo!
There you go.
Yay.
Studio audience giving you a big round of applause, Angelina.
Thank you.
So Angelina, all I need you to do is I want you to instant message me on Facebook. Your particulars so I can get this prize to you.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thank you, Angelina, and congratulations. And as you leave, we want to make sure the studio audience gives you one more.
Woo! Thank you.
All right, thanks, Angelina. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, hey Joe. See, that's what happens when you show up. People.
Hey, how cool is that? You just made her week. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks
glad.
to,
I mean, I'm just facilitating it. I mean, Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank is the one that bought them all. So
I was just about to say that. Thanks to the bank. So.
And Sabina just said it's bigly.
Bigly, very bigly.
It's amazing. It's the best thing you've ever seen.
If you take a look at what we're doing, it's bigly. Okay.
I'm still the president. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, today's one of those days where you're walking on eggshells. But I'm just here to tell you that you're good. No worries. No QAnon.
What do you mean walking on eggshells? What's going on?
Well, there's a bunch of chatter that there's going to be another attack, if you will. That is what mainstream media wants to call it. They want to, fearmonger, and a couple bad apples turned a protest into a talking point for them. But there's been chatter that Donald Trump was going to retake the presidency today, and so
really?
they've actually shut Congress down today. So
they did?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they sure did.
I'm gonna storm the Capitol building.
But again, nothing to see here, folks.
Nothing to see here. So where was the chatter? I mean, it was just you talking about national media and that kind of stuff.
It's all over social media. So
I haven't seen a thing about it. No kidding. Nothing at all.
Well, I mean, that's the funny thing, though. Mainstream media is hyping this up, and there's not a ton of validity, but they want you to believe that. So I'm just going with the narrative. Okay, Mike, I'm just trying to spread the word.
And that's what you're here to change, correct?
Yes, absolutely. The narrative.
How is that done? I still don't, of all the times I talk to you, I still don't understand how that is done.
each one of us has an objective. I know my objective. I do not know the others.
You're
So
talking
I
about the
know
rest of the seven. You're talking about the rest of the seven, right?
that is correct. So I know my objective. When I get the green light to carry out my mission, I know what I'm supposed to do. Each one of these pieces play a role in changing the narrative. So I don't know the others, but I trust that those who sent us back know what they're doing. I mean, if they can send us through time, I got to believe that they're smart enough to have put this together. It's well thought out. So, yeah, change the narrative. So you want to talk about some big things this year? Because I really need people to grab hold of some things, okay?
All right.
First being the market, okay? The market is going to collapse. So prepare yourself, people. I can't stress it enough, you know. I don't mean you have to go stockpile food. I don't mean you have to pull out your 401ks. Just prep yourself for about 8 months of very tumultuous economic times. Silver is going to go through the roof. Silver is where the common folks should possibly try to get their hands on some tangible silver. It's very bigly, as Sabina said. It's very bigly. It's a big deal. You know, it's all playing a part, and I've told everyone several times that COVID is the catalyst for a new way of life. Any way you slice it, you draw a direct correlation back to COVID-19. So, digital dollar is coming. Your fiat currency will go away. Paper money will be no more. It's dirty. It transmits the virus.
Been going away for a long time. That's been going away for a long time. You know, I mean,
Right.
So when you said before that this is something that's been planned for years and going on and on, yeah, I mean, the elimination of money has been going on for probably the last 15 years at least.
Yeah, with credit cards and Apple Pay, but this is the ability to transition completely to a digital currency. So they're going to use this. They put this in as the mortar, the foundation to build this new society. Another big thing I want to talk about, I want people to prepare yourself. Joe Biden will not be your president at the end of this year. You heard it here, 1,000%. He will not be the president at the end of the year. So you will have your first woman vice president and your first madam president in the same administration.
Now, this happened in your timeline, correct?
Yes, it did.
Okay. So what are the what are the keys, or what are the clues that we need to look for, you know, to see when this is about to happen? I mean, we already know that Dr. Joe Biden, tucks Joe in about 8 o'clock at night, know, and well, apparently he goes to bed early, is what I'm saying.
So right, because he has sundown syndrome. So when Joe Biden has, I'm sorry, let me say this correctly. When President Biden starts to have frequent meltdowns, and I mean those moments on camera where the teleprompter either goes too fast or he loses his place, and he starts to when those become more frequent, you know it's there, you know it's coming, and you'll see that unfold. Haven't seen a bunch of Joe Biden, right before the election, boom, Joe Biden everywhere. Haven't seen a lot of Joe Biden. Some would say he's busy. I'm sure he has writer's cramp up to this point, and we will see. But I'm telling you guys, by the end of the year, President Harris is a reality.
How's that going to work out? I mean, going forward,
it's not good. It's not good. Okay. It's not good. Listen, the Democrats put all their focus, their power into Kamala, and Tulsi Gabbard shot that down in 30 seconds. It was beautiful. And no, I don't side with any party. So this is just my view. This isn't like bias by any means. So shot that down in a second. They had to find somebody that would be a strong opponent for change, because let's face it, President Trump dropped the ball on some things. I mean, there's no way to slice it any other way. I mean, he did. So that's where Biden came in. It worked to their favor because, I mean, he is the oldest sitting president. He has health issues. I see Denise had put on the screen that I said he would step down. Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. He is going to be removed from office.
So there's a difference. Is he going to step down or is he going to be removed?
Listen, he is going to step down. But trust me, it is in place that they're going to come to him and say, hey, Joe, you clearly cannot run the country. We need you to step down. That is being removed.
What was the date? Do you remember the date?
Let's see here. September, just after September 11th. I remember the ceremony. I don't remember the actual day, but it would be in September.
That's wild, man. That's just wild stuff. I mean, when you talk about these items, that are going to come to pass and happened in your timeline and up in 2030, it's kind of hard to comprehend. In this timeline of like, oh, really? Okay. And then you see it happen.
Yeah. When it happens, that's when people are like, wow, okay. Maybe this guy is he's just predicting and he's smart. But at some point you reach you have to apply a logic. At some point I can't be right consistently. Like there's been some variances. Like I'm starting to understand this whole time continuum and how it works. And if you're in a different reality, there are still so many reactions to every action. It's not plausible to be 100% accurate, but everything seems to follow the same path, the same narrative. So
like a pattern.
Yeah, I mean, there may be a variance here or there. Like I told everyone back in October, they was like, hey, who the Super Bowl question, I get that all the time. So I went ahead and let it slide, and I regret it. I made a deal with someone on social media. I'll tell you who's going to be in the Super Bowl. You go ahead and place your bet, but I want 80%, 80%. And I did it just to prove a point to all the people that were there. So I went ahead and said, put your money on Tom Brady, the Chiefs, and Tampa Bay. And of course, it's like, oh, the Tampa Bay sucks. No way. Okay. Well, the Chiefs won in my timeline. Tampa Bay won in your timeline. However, they are both still in the same place. So it seems like there's slight variances, but that's why I make sure that I focus on the major events that happened in my timeline. I know they are going to happen in this timeline. Might be a week earlier, a week later. They're going to happen. Tesla, I told everyone, buy Tesla. It'll be $600 by October. It happened to be $600 by the middle of November. So it's a little later, but still happened. Still was the same, just a little later.
And you're not a financial analyst, correct?
No, by no means.
Here's a question from Joanne. We've talked about this before. You have two. Who will take office in 2024?
President Trump will be office 2024. It's not the Don. Okay. So if you're putting your money in Donald Trump coming back in office, no. But he is going to push very heavily to win the party over. and present his daughter as who he is supporting, and she'll win the nomination and she'll win the presidency. These next 4 years, listen, guys, we already see it. Okay, we're back to politics as usual. We bombed Syria. Regardless of what's going on in the world, I can tell you, President Trump did not have any new confrontations. He extended a hand to North Korea. He got farther there than any other president. Now, granted, not traditional in his ways, but I mean, he managed to not have any new conflict. We're not even 60 days in, boom, we're already bombing. So it's politics as usual, and it is going to, just be a digression. I don't know if that's the right word, but we're going to be on a decline from January on.
January of 2022.
This January. After they took office, it's a steady decline. You're going to see how it seems that we have taken 30 steps backwards at the end of this administration. There are some things that are new that could be labeled as, plus benefits. The digital dollar, that's great. That's great from your standpoint. You don't have to worry about carrying cash, getting robbed, any of that stuff. But for the privacy advocates, they can pinpoint down to the transaction, down to the item, what you bought, when you bought it, and then start preparing yourself for a digital identifier. When you start hearing those words, guys, it's scary. You're going to have a chip in your body. So really, there's no hiding. It reports even your biometric data. So they'll know if you're an alcoholic. They'll know if you consume a little cocaine after work. I mean, they're going to know. And this is going to play into everything: your credit, your insurance. I mean, it's a whole new world, and we are on the precipice of it.
Should we be scared?
I see the utility where it's now the second time into this. I see the utility. It could be a great thing for humanity. However, we've been free. We've lived with privacy for so many years here in this country. I mean, not so much in other countries, but I'd say about perhaps a decade ago, that was really under attack behind the scenes. They felt that we didn't deserve that privacy. And it's been to the point. I mean, if you don't think you're tracked today, you're out of your mind. You carry your phone with you at all times. That phone is a gateway into your life. But now you'll have a chip that will basically say where you are, what you're doing. Are you exercising? Are you engaging in some activity? Are you sleeping? I mean, they'll be able to pull all that data from you. So it's the ultimate invasion. But I do see the utility. I do see how it could be used for good. However, we're human beings.
Is it meant to be good, or is it meant for control? Strictly control.
It's meant strictly for control. Strictly for control.
Let me blow up my own mind here for a second, and maybe everybody else's too that's listening. So you have traveled back from 2030 to 2012, and you've been here for 9.5 years or so.
Yes.
Who's to say this hasn't happened a million times before?
Listen,
different timelines.
Right. You and I have spoke about time loops, and exactly. This could be the umpteenth iteration of this. I don't know.
Right.
But I know my mission, my timeline, what I'm here to do today. But this could very well be just a cycle. And until we get it right, we're stuck in the cycle. I don't know. However, this is my first time traveling. It'll be my only time. I'll live this out with you guys. There's no going back. And then once I reach that point, I really don't know. A lot of people ask that question. What happens when you reach the day in 2030 when you were sent back? I have no idea.
Well, that's unknown.
Will I
You
keep
haven't gotten that
going?
far.
Right. Yeah. Will I keep going? Or, will I be sent back again? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those
Like a
things
time
where,
loop.
yeah.
Do you get deja vu?
All the time.
I get it
all
too.
the time.
my own personal, I guess, explanation for it. And there's really nothing behind it. It's just kind of like inner knowing, I guess. Or I mean, everybody has that, whether or not they use it or not. But I get deja vu all the time, and to me, it's just, and I'm very much into alternate realities, in different timelines. And see, here's where it gets really weird. A lot of people think timelines are side by side or whatever. I think they're stair steps.
Right.
And they go up from there. And I think that not that it really matters, but I don't know. Do you see? Can you see interdimensionally? Since you've time traveled,
I cannot. However, since I was face to face with life outside this planet, that connection has I don't want to say given me an ability, but I am hypersensitive to some things. I do get these. Well, I used to think they were dreams, but you're not self-aware in a dream. I've went through. I've had people analyze, like professionals analyze my dreams, and you shouldn't be self-aware in a dream. I mean, that's from my understanding, and this goes back to Carl Jung and years of research. You shouldn't be self-aware. I'm very aware when I have these, so it's almost like it's like I'm in a void and I'm just receiving information. If that makes any sense, I don't know, but
yeah,
I have headaches afterwards for sometimes days. And usually the information I get, I'd say it's 99%, it's accurate. It's not anything to do with the future or the past. It could be the present. It could be all three. I'm just getting information, and as I process that and do my work, I see that that the information's dead on. So I'm hypersensitive to whatever that is. I don't know if it is like a download. Somebody had referenced at one point. Maybe it's a download. It makes a little sense, but yeah, ever since that connection, I've had this thing.
Got it. Question up on the board from Joanne. Will there be an issue with voter fraud in 2024?
No, and there wasn't an issue with voter fraud in this election. Okay, if there was an issue, it would have been exposed. They would have pulled out all the stops. I'm not saying that there's not fraud in every election. I told everybody that followed me, listen, do not put your faith in Donald Trump being elected, because you're going to be scratching your head at the end of this trying to figure out what's what. A lot of people that said, hey, I'm voting for Trump to appease their family, friends, work colleagues, whatever, didn't vote for him. I'm not saying there's not fraud. There's fraud in every election. That is fact. I'm saying on a mass scale, there wasn't in this election, and there won't be in 2024. They put in office who they want in office, regardless.
That's always been that way.
Yeah,
that is not new.
You guys have the perception that you have a say in this. If you had a say in this, the popular vote would dictate who's elected. Mm-hmm. You do not have a say. you got kind of a say, maybe a little bit of an opinion, but then we pass it to this board and they decide. You see, they always put in office who they want in office. It just so happens that when Donald Trump ran against Hillary Clinton, it was overwhelming. They had no choice. They're like, oh, well, we have to do this, you know. Plus, they take into account everything that's going on. That email server should still be a topic today. It should still be a topic today. You know, a talking point. We should know what's going on. That is all of our sensitive information for this country, and it's not.
Is the chip mandatory?
Yes.
And
There's
you don't
no
take
getting
it,
around
what
it.
happens?
If you do not take this chip, you'll be labeled a dissident. You will function in everyday life. So either you go it alone, okay, live off the land per se. I mean, you can still be in society. You're just not going to be able to buy anything. You're not going to be able to go to the doctor. You're not going to get financial aid. You know, you're not going to be able to obviously vote or get a driver's license. This chip will be 100% mandatory. Yes.
Before you time traveled from 2030 back to 2012, were you interested personally in the science of time travel or the
No.
Or did somebody, you know, or was it just presented to you and you went, hey, why the hell not? And
Exactly.
here we are.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I had from the visitors viewpoint an option. From the human standpoint, I didn't have an option. If I didn't do this, I wasn't making it back to where I was taken. All right. I knew that. I could feel it. It was stated, but not directly. So I knew no matter what, this was either I do this or I'm done. I'm not going to make it out of here. You know, I've had luck on my side
Out of
all the
where?
way up to that point. I was
Out of
taken
where?
to a facility, a government facility, and I was presented this. Here you go. I had a moment to where I was face to face with I don't know what you want to call it, because I go all over the place, you know, with what it is. I can tell you it's not God. You know, that was the first thing stated to me, was not to be afraid, and then like answer the question that I didn't even ask, you know, that no, I am not your God. So I don't know what you want to call it, but I was presented, and yeah, I mean, why would I not take that chance? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just out of sheer curiosity, hold on, you're going to send me back, and I know all this stuff, and you're going to send me back? Yeah, let's go. Let's run it. Let's do it.
Were there people that were approached with the same opportunity that was given to you and denied the opportunity?
That I don't know. I didn't have
what
any.
the hell happened to them?
Yeah, I didn't do anything with outside that. That was my experience. Like, I didn't see anybody else brought to this facility for the same. You know, I know that 6 others are here. I've talked to a few. We were never supposed to meet. I think it was designed that way so that we could not collude and do our own thing. We were never supposed to meet. However, I've been playing in the gray. You know, I'm not really giving you guys information that will benefit you personally, like financially. You know, I'm not stepping in and trying to cause a rift and say, you know, change something entirely. You know, outside my
write
mission.
Lottery numbers down and come back with them.
Right. So I'm not doing any of that. So I'm justifying what I'm doing by just giving you facts. Yes, this is going to happen. You know, now prepare for it. It is a life-changing, world-changing event. When the president goes, steps down, that's world-changing. You now have a different president, a different set of policies. That's world-changing. Everything I've given, well, I can't say everything. The Super Bowl probably wasn't, but I did that to prove a point. Even if I give you guys the questions that you ask, you're just going to be selfish. You're like the guy with the Super Bowl. We had an agreement. 70 people saw it. He deleted the account. Doesn't exist anymore because he placed his bet, and I told him it had to be over 10,000. You have to bet over 10,000, and I get 80%. I mean, if that's the way you want, that's the information that matters to you. Okay, then there you go. So he placed his bet. Tom Brady made it to the Super Bowl, and that's all he was betting on. Not who won, who made it, and he deleted his account. So if I give you, all of you, the answers you seek, you'll just use it for personal gain. This is not about one person. This is about everybody in the totality, the collective, everyone.
Let's get into crypto a little bit. Here's a question. Will Dogecoin be solid then? Any specific cryptocurrencies that are the most safe to invest in? And this is exactly what you're talking about.
This is what I'm talking about.
No offense, but
however, listen, I'm pushing cryptocurrency on TikTok because I want people to be ready for this financial collapse. There's desperation, there's despair. I mean, there's a whole lot of D words, and none of them are good, okay? That come with this. So I don't mind answering this because I'm not. The first time around, I was not into cryptocurrency. Okay, I thought it was a Ponzi scheme, just like most of the population. I'm getting into it now. I know what Bitcoin is. I know where it goes. I know what it does. I know when total adoption is. I know, what's going to be like a global currency. I'm not giving out that information. Okay. I'll answer this question. Will Doge be a solid? Does that say? I don't understand that. Will Dogecoin
is Doge safe to invest in, basically, and it will stand the test of time?
No, no, it's not. Now Elon Musk is involved. He's trying to make it have some utility, but no. If you want, why would you invest in Doge if you can invest in Bitcoin? Makes no sense. I know people are looking for that big gainer, and Doge is at like 6 cents, 5 cents. But no, don't waste your money. Okay, please don't.
When
on the back side of that, I'm just going to answer. If you want to put your money in something that's good, Cardano is good. Luna is good. Find stuff that has utility, that's going to be here in a year and not a meme coin. That's all. That was made as a joke.
Exactly. My daughter, got into Dogecoin. I told her, I said, well, get in, get out.
Yeah.
Those were my exact words to her. Let's see. What do we got here? There was something here. Eric says, hi, Joe. Sorry to bother you, but how much do you think can be changed as far as the narrative is concerned? Let me get a percentage, 1 out of 10,
okay.
maybe.
Let me take a drink really quick. I'm sorry. All this talking. How dare I?
It's too early for bourbon, dude.
Yeah. No, not where I'm from. How much do I? Well, first off, you never bother me. Anybody that sees me live, you see me answering text messages and things all day. I make myself available to anyone. I know people have fears and questions and concerns, and I don't just say this stuff and then go about my day. I'm not that guy. Secondly, how much do I think can be changed? This is an experiment. Now, I do believe those that sent us back calculated the percentage and decided it was worth taking a chance. Okay. To give you a number, I don't know. I know my objective alone is very big. What I'm here to do really will impact the elite pretty hard. So that's just me alone, and I know that the others have an objective as well. Some may not be just an act. Some may have mingled with governments throughout the world and are at a high level. I'm not going to say anymore about what I know about anybody else. I'm just saying I know my objective will shake their foundation for sure. So let's just hope that everything goes accordingly, and we even if we steer off of this 10%, over. I mean, think of it as navigating. You're flying a plane and you veer off 10%. As time goes, you're further and further away from that result. So, I think if we can steer it even 10%, we're good.
Can I ask you something about what your objective is without you answering it? Because I know you can't answer it, and I know you won't tell me.
Yeah. Well,
but and I don't even know if you can answer this. And tell me if you can't or won't. It's fine. It's good. But of all the times I've listened to you talk about your objective and even some of the possible consequences, is this a civil act? Or is this something?
Should. Yeah, I probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't even speak on it at all.
All right, let it go.
I mean, it's just I don't want anyone to draw a conclusion. I certainly don't want them to draw, the right conclusion. So,
does it scare you?
Absolutely. All of this scares me. From the moment I got into that thing, it's been nothing but fear. Because, I mean, imagine you wake up every day, you're wondering, is this the day? Is this the day that I have to take that leap? Yeah, I mean, I do live in a constant state of fear. I mean, on some level, I can't say it consumes me. I mean, there are times, I'm human mostly, and so I have fear. I have bad days. So,
what about when you traveled? How do you know where you're living?
Well, we've talked about this
before. Back with keys to a house, or
no. I mean, I've done this. I had access to some funds. I had some things set up for me. Yes. Now there were 4 individuals that were sent before, so I did have some things set up for me. Now, I mean, I've built things over time, and I've been very wise with what was left for me to carry out this mission. So I didn't just splurge. I live a very normal life, a very blue collar type life. So, and that's by my own design. I didn't want to get to a point where I was raising an eyebrow, guessing, because people keep an eye on that. If someone's on a winning streak, they want to know the strategy. I mean, I could use some of this information, and I could make some bets, and I could, you know, I just don't want to raise any eyebrows. That's what I'm saying. I've used what was provided for me pretty well.
Because I'm thinking you got dropped. I mean, did you even have clothes on?
No, I had these little weird skibbies that that I came with.
So you get dropped where you dropped. So you're and you're walking around your BVDs. What do you do? I mean, you're gonna have to. Somebody's gonna see you. Somebody must have seen you. See, hey, that's just Joe. You know, I mean, all of a sudden,
Well,
boom. You know, you're walking around in tighty whities.
You know, it's funny you said that, because I actually had a lady that I ran across that helped me out in the very beginning. We have kept in close contact. She thought I was batshit crazy at first, to the point where she was going to, you know, call the police. I mean, you know, we discussed this, and I tried to explain, like, listen. So a good Samaritan helped me out, and it's funny because I didn't get to talk to you last week, and this is how the universe works, okay? But the week before that, when I was speaking to her, I prepped her for the possibility of having to tell that story, because I'm now on YouTube, and I'm trying to do a couple things, and you know, everybody needs validity. I mean, they're not going to just believe, you know, a story. So I let her know there's a possibility she might have to tell that story. And that's weird. Today, you asked that question. I mean, you've asked it before, but not in that
Just in a different way.
Yeah.
Just in a different
And I know
way.
what you're trying to do. You're trying to get me, you know, this is like a good cop, bad cop. You know, you ask the question 5 different ways, trying to make sure that the answer is valid, you know. I mean, I
But I talk
appreciate
to you,
that.
but I talk to you totally different on here than I do when we're actually just
Yeah.
talking as
Yeah,
buds
absolutely.
on the phone or
Absolutely.
whatever.
Yeah, for sure. No, I know. But you have your questions just like everyone else, you know. I know it's hard to believe. Listen, I have days still where I wake up and I'm like, is any of this real? Is there going to be a day I wake up and, you know, I'm in a different place entirely, and I'm like, yeah, that was all one long crazy dream. So I still have those days. It's hard to believe. I get it.
All right, so you're dropped where you're dropped. You're wearing some sort of scantily clad clothing.
Yeah, skibbies.
You know, and
that's what I call them.
I mean, now was this person that helped you? Was she aware of you being dropped there?
No. Like I said, there wasn't much. I was in a bad state.
Find you in the field?
No. I actually got up. It took a while. Like I said, I was in bad shape physically. I don't believe that this was ever intended for human use. Okay, our DNA, although be it similar, there are stark differences with our DNA and their DNA. You can just tell by physical appearance. So I don't believe it was meant for us to use. So I was in bad shape. I don't want to say like I looked like I was, you know, what would be a good analogy? I don't know, crackhead or something. I don't want to say like I looked like something like that, but I was in bad shape physically. I had some atrophy that took some weeks, you know, and I still have repercussions from that. So she helped me out, you know, and I've asked her before, why did you help me out? In this day and time, why would you help out a stranger that's, you know, semi-nude, shaking, dirty? Like, why would you help me out? And she was
Maybe
just
she
like,
thought you
I
were
don't know.
hot.
Well, I don't think so. I think she just told me that she said she's very religious. So she said the Holy Spirit, you know, compelled her to act. Like typically she would have, you know, just kept driving like, oh shit, you know, excuse my language. I'm sorry.
That's
but
right. We can say shit.
Okay, I just want to make sure. But you know, something told her to help me out, and I don't know what that is. You know, maybe that's the same thing that I have when I have those visions. Those it's weird that you even presented it in this way. You know,
It wasn't
because of
planned.
the conversation. No, but
Honestly, it wasn't planned. It was just boom. It was there. It
I
was
know
not a planned
it's
thought.
just
I don't have
it's
anything in front of me. I don't have
yeah, I
anything in front
know.
of me, with any kind of outline or anything. That was just there.
I know, but it like people always say coincidence, and I just don't believe in coincidence.
I
I
don't believe
never
in
have.
coincidence either.
It's just, like you've asked me that in so many different ways, and then now
And I don't
today
even realize
presented
it, to
it.
be honest with you. I don't even
Yeah,
realize that I do that. So here's a
yeah.
question that I've asked you, and this is up on the board right now. And I mean, I know the answer. We've talked about it, but here you go. You wear a mask on this show, but while you're on your Instagram, you do not. What is your reason for that?
Well, I mean, my worst case scenario happened last week where I had a family member recognize me. Um, I had the mask on because I'm in the business that I bought, and I just decided to keep, with the status quo. But I wore the mask strictly to protect the people that I love. I mean, you got to understand, I disappeared, and now I have reappeared 9 years later in another state. You know, um, so the conversation with my cousin has been, they've been hard because we were close growing up, and he wants to inform everybody that he found me, and he actually found me on Instagram, which I thought I had a lot of control over who came in. That's not the case, because they followed Tumultuous. I had Tumultuous on one of my lives that I posted on IGTV, and they were able to find. I mean, it was totally coincidental that they found me, but there is no coincidence, remember? So something's going on to where this is supposed to be. I don't know if I needed some help from a family member. I'm not sure how this is going to play out, but they want to tell everyone. I've asked them not to, but that's why I wore the mask in the beginning. I have taken it off, and on the TikToks I've started to take it off, because at this point, that is the worst case scenario. I don't know if there'll be repercussions from a law enforcement level, because I know there was a missing persons filed and like that whole nine. So I hope that answers your question, and I'm just trying to answer it honestly, because I
Here's a
don't tell
brand new question.
stories.
Here's a brand new question that I just didn't even, and kind of just spurred of what you were talking about. What happens if law enforcement gets involved?
I don't know.
And can you prove to them, beyond a shadow of a doubt, face to face, through documentation or something, that you traveled back in time?
I don't think so. I don't think so. So, um, I've done some study and I've done some reading. Um, it's not against the law to just pick up and leave
Mm.
and start life somewhere else. Um, so I'm hoping that there's really no repercussion from that, if you follow what I'm saying, because you today, Mike, can decide, I'm done with Connecticut, I'm going to California, and you can just leave and go.
Sure.
And you can decide you don't want contact with anyone. I'm hoping that there is no repercussion. However, I'm also more concerned with my family and how they're going to feel about this. And yeah, people disappear every day.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Are you okay with that? How's it affecting you?
It's been rough. You know, like I said, I come down with illness last week, and I've been trying just to get better. You know, I've had now 5 conversations with my cousin, and you know, I gave him a little bit of information that I remembered because I was a golf fan, and before it happened, and he was kind of weirded out by that.
Was he mad at you?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. How do you tell somebody that hasn't seen you in 9 years, that you were close with, that you grew up, that you, I mean, you could say was your best friend, but it's family, you know. Um, how do you tell them that, hey man, you know, I know this sounds crazy, but I never disappeared. I'm not even, this isn't even my home. I'm not from here. You know, how do you do that? It's been hard. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like the first conversation was over an hour. I mean, it was kind of like a relief, but also there's a lot of anger. The conversations are getting less, so I think I'm starting to um, build some trust there. I don't know. Um, we'll see. You know, my father's ex-military. If he gets a whim of this, he would be able to locate me. I'm sure. So I'm hoping that nobody knocks on my door and is like, "Hey, um, you know what I mean?" Because I still used my information. I didn't assume a different identity, and I did that for, you know, I didn't want to be a lawbreaker when I came back, and you know, I could just. My theory was I could just fit right in with my old identity. I mean, I existed in your timeline. I just disappeared.
Does your brother, or I'm sorry, not your brother, your cousin,
Cousin.
does your cousin, male or female? Not that it matters, but
It's Mel.
okay. Just because I want to know how to I don't want to say she, I
Yeah,
want to say
yeah,
he.
yeah. I got you.
What has he asked you about your time travel, or has that not been brought up?
Yeah. So the first day we talked about it, and like I said, it was not believed. And then I gave him some information that event happened, and this is not something I normally do, but you know, I was worried about him, you know, telling and getting my family involved. Like I was not supposed to do any of this. So, you know, I had a call from my Russian counterpart that said, "Hey, you know, I told you, I told you." That's basically what the phone call um, consisted of. You know, I told you not to do this. I told you not to put your face out there. I told you not to even speak on this. They don't deserve this. You know, you're supposed to be here to do
What
your
does he
objective,
mean
and
they
that's it.
don't deserve this? This is
Um,
your family that you vanished from, that you have feelings about.
no,
I've
no, no,
talked
no,
to you.
no,
I've
no.
seen you tear up. And what does
He
he mean
means
they don't
he
deserve
means
this?
you guys. He means the people that I speak to on social media.
Oh, all right, all right.
They don't deserve the information. They're not worthy of it. That's why we're here in the first place. Like his take on this was, and I don't want to get draped off into that. We can do that next time. But his take was, you know, we're here to change the narrative that we all created. So nobody should have this information. I mean, and he was adamant about it. But back to the cousin. You know, I did all that to make sure that, you know, he knew that hey, look, how could I have guessed that? You know, there's no way to guess that. That is one of those events that you would never guess. So listen, I'm telling you the truth. Give me some time before you go spitting off to dad and, you know, your dad and, you know, everyone else that you found me. Give me some time to prove to you that I'm here for a bigger purpose, a greater purpose. So like I said, we've had some time. It's been a few days, and we don't really talk about the time traveler stuff. He was really weirded out when that event happened, and he said, "I don't even. I'm
You mean
still
when you
processing."
disappeared?
No, when so I gave him an event after the first call. I said, "Hey, look, this is going to happen tomorrow. Okay?" He's like, "Yeah, okay." So the event happened, and then when we spoke that day, he was like, "I don't know how you even knew that was going to happen. I'm kind of weirded out. I need time to process this." And I said, "Well, look, just make sure you don't spill the beans. Like, give me some time to prove to you that I am who I say I am, that I didn't just disappear, start a new life, and just surface, 9 years later, and you just happened to find me. Just give me some time to prove that to you." And, I've had a few days, like I said. I'm hoping that this doesn't turn into anything else.
So,
And I didn't
so
mean to take over the
no,
interview with this
'cause I
one
I
incident.
haven't seen much of you around lately.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's,
Makes
you,
sense.
you know, that happens and you're kind of like, wow, what I thought would never happen has happened. But that just goes to show you should follow what is scripted. When you deviate and try to do things yourself, you think you know better. You really don't. That just goes to show you.
So I got one more question for you today
Okay.
for, on air.
Yeah.
When you disappeared, were you at some point pronounced dead?
No.
So you're still
No.
missing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there was no signs of foul play. Just, and that's kind of how that had played out. Was like, hey, look, how do you know he's not in Mexico? Started a new life. That kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I was never pronounced dead. Now, if that was the case, we'd have some problems, for sure. Definitely
So he's
check
talking
that
about you
before I.
disappearing. He's talking about you disappearing in 2030, correct?
No, 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 no. When I came
See,
back
now this is
here,
where I'm really confused.
yeah, in 2012, the current me did not come home from work, just gone.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
So that's what he is referencing, and that's what I'm talking about.
Got it.
Not in 2030. How would he know? We're in 2021. So I'm talking about when the day I came back, the current me in your timeline did not return home from work. So I don't know if you can't occupy, like your matter can't be in the same time and space,
Mm-hmm.
twice. I don't know how that
It's not
works.
your humanly energy.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah. So I gotta ask you. I've asked you this before. Did
Yeah.
we know each other back in the other timeline?
I mean, not that I'm
I
aware.
have to say that we did.
I mean, it's
Somehow.
possible because there's no coincidence, but I'm just like, it's not coincidental that we're here having this interview. I don't remember, but who's to say that this isn't the 10th iteration of this, and that each time is different. I don't know. I mean, this can open up a huge rabbit hole. Just this event can open up a huge rabbit hole. I understand.
Well, I think you did know me, and back then my name was Channing Tatum.
Ah, Channing. Didn't you play on the movie with you guys were cops? But I thought you were the other guy.
Shit, yeah, I
What's
was.
his name? No,
Chris Rock, was it?
Can't remember his name.
No, it wasn't Chris Rock.
No, it was the guy from Superbad with the hair.
McLovin? No.
No, with the fro, the big guy. What was his name?
I don't remember.
Okay,
I don't remember. See,
I'm
Kimberly.
sure.
Kimberly knows me as Channing Tatum
Well, Kimberly is she's pretty awesome. She's followed me since the beginning.
because I'm right here.
I think she said you were Channing Tatum. I think that was it.
Maybe I was just Jack Nicholson. I don't know. All right, dude. Well, it's nice talking to you. It's nice catching up with you. It's it had been Jonah. That's it.
Jonah. Yes, that's it. Listen, I don't know if you have my number, so I'm gonna Instagram it to you. I've turned
Yeah,
off
you
my
gave it to me
Instagram.
once. And I don't know what the hell I did with it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do that when we get off the interview. I've turned off my notification on Instagram and TikTok. I mean, the thing they go all night long, ding ding ding. So if you want to get a hold of me, that's the best way.
Say hi to Rihanna. She's watching. You've talked to her.
To Rihanna.
Yeah, my daughter. She asked you questions through. We
Oh
were
yeah,
talking
yeah.
through
Hey
Instagram.
Rihanna, how you doing? Yeah, yeah. I remember.
Hey. She's a knucklehead. Rihanna, I got to call you back. I'm finishing this up with Joe.
Yeah, he's on the interview, and we're 10 minutes
Stay
over.
right back, kiddo.
What choice do I?
Well, I'm kind of working. All right. I love you. I'll talk to you in a minute. All right, bye. She's a knucklehead. All right, so somebody says Jonah, and then Sabina says Seth Rogen.
No, it's not Seth Rogen. It's definitely
I think it was Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. Yeah, yeah. But I appreciate you trying to be Channing Tatum, but Jonah Hill's more likely.
Kind of am, but I'm I rock it like that.
I mean, that's okay. That's okay.
Let's call me the Polish Prince, man.
I'm not ever going to call you the Polish Prince, but okay.
At least not to my face. Yeah, Instagram me your number again.
All right, I will, man.
All right, brother. It's always
Thanks.
good talking.
Yeah, definitely. I'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you keep the faith, all right?
Absolutely.
All right, dude. Talk to you later.
Later.
All right, it's Joe, our time traveler. He's just a cool dude. And he's got things he's got to do. And I love the story. I absolutely love the story, and what he brings to the table. And it's fun, and but it's also, the story can also be very heart wrenching and difficult to listen to when you watch a man about what he's going through, not just from a professional standpoint, from a business standpoint. So a lot of people want to glamorize. They want to glamorize time travel, and this is what it is, and what they think. But one of the things Joe has always said to me is, it is nothing like what Hollywood has presented it to be. It's not Scott Bakula, going around in Quantum Leap. It's difficult. It's hard. It's human. And we'll continue our conversations with Joe on Time Traveler Thursday. So thank you, everyone, for joining us once again, as you always do. Please, share this this video when it goes live up on YouTube and on Facebook. So that way, if more people are intrigued in these types of conversations, i.e., time travel with Joe, it's fun. It's interesting, and it's unlike anything you've heard before in this context. This isn't stuff from Apex TV on YouTube where it's a bunch of hoo-ha, legit hoo-ha. Join us on Thursdays for Time Travel Thursday. So anyway, I will see you once again tomorrow morning right here on SNSN. Have a good day.
Don't just wish for a winning deal. Make it dish. It will make it real. Don't just wish. Make